Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this week's pregame interview. I'm here with head women's basketball coach David Moe. Coach and his Lady Trojan squad will be on the road this weekend as a conference rematch between Viterbo and Waldorf. So, Coach, last week was a close game with Viterbo. I know you weren't able to be on the sidelines, but you are now. So, what changes have been made going into this week's rematch?
Yeah, sitting at home watching the game from the couch was one of the worst things I've ever been through. It was terrible. But coming back, the main thing that we've talked about this week is just we need to get back to being us. Mm-hmm. We weren't real crisp defensively. We didn't shoot the ball particularly well offensively. And we just got to kind of get back to doing what we do. We've always been known as a scrappy defensive team that we make teams feel uncomfortable, and I felt like Viterbo was very comfortable in our game on Saturday. And offensively, we got to get back to, having a balanced attack of inside out, get the ball inside. And so it's just been really no adjustments. It's just kind of getting back to doing what we do. And I think if we can do that, we'll be in really good shape. It's just, we've kind of drifted a little bit, and it's just bringing us back, and we'll be fine.
I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how both of the games go this weekend. Mm-hmm. For the second question, who have been your leaders throughout the season?
It's been a journey in this program. We've talked about 2 years ago we won 4 games, mm-hmm. and that group, 3 years ago won 4 games. That group are now seniors, and they've been through the trials and tribulations. And Jesse Giles, Ashley McDonald, Lexi Robson, Shaylee Nagel, Mackenzie Hermanson, Elsie Huss-Leeson. We have 6 seniors on this team, and so to say one is a leader, it's not really the case. They all kind of lead in their own way. I mean, if anyone's ever seen Shaylee Nagel play basketball, she leads through just sheer effort and energy. Mm-hmm. Jesse Giles is one of the most consistent people of just balancing her schedule. Lexi Robson's our point guard. Ashley McDonald leads through just a kind of a physicality, and she brings a lot of toughness to us. Mackenzie Hermanson, she shows up every single day, and she just does things the right way. Elsie, they all kind of do their own thing. Mm-hmm. And, we have a bunch of juniors on the team that kind of follow that as well. And it's not really a lead by one person. We talk a lot about every single person has a leadership stake in the program, and that's your example, mm-hmm. how you do things day in, day out. And if we can all focus on being our best, now we're all leading this team in the right direction. And that's kind of getting back to that first question. That's getting back to being us. And so it's been a really fun group. This journey over the last 3 years has been wild. It's like a roller coaster, but this group is really special, and it's been really fun to kind of go through this with them.
All right. And then the last question for you. You got a long bus ride coming up. How do you pass time on these bus trips?
Just doing whatever I can to stay busy. I watch a lot of film on the bus. I'm an audiobooks person, and so I just got my new audiobook, Atomic Habits by James Clear. I'm pretty excited about. I try to play Coach Branco in Game Pigeon games on my iPhone whenever he plays it back. But just whatever we can do. I can't sleep on the bus. I've mm-hmm. never been able to, no matter how long it is. And so if you find ways to kind of pass the time, I'm a huge cards person. And so I'll always have a deck of cards on me. Okay. And I'll play my own hand solitaire game or whatever. It's just, you stay busy by doing other things. You can't just do one thing the entire mm-hmm. time. A lot of our players just sleep. I can't. So you got to get creative. But it's part of college athletics. You got to travel. And, those bus trips and the hotels, those are some pretty special memories that you can make with your team, and it's a fun journey. Mm-hmm.
I completely agree. So thank you so much, Coach. I know everyone likes hearing a little bit more about you and your squad. The ladies will take on Viterbo on Friday at 5:30 in La Crosse, and will take on Waldorf at 3 on Saturday in Forest City, Iowa. So thank you very much for watching. See you next week.